Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgie-man, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling Season 2, Episode 5. So, what did you think about this week's episode? To be honest, I thought this week's episode was great. I thought it was very wholesome, very cute, and it was great seeing Gojo and Marin's dynamic and keep evolving as the series progresses, as well as we get to see how Gojo's character as a whole has been evolving as well, especially during this arc where he's starting to rely more on others, as well as we get to see a lot of comedic stuff, and as well as very wholesome stuff with Marin trying to make Gojo some lunch. But before I go any further with this episode review, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Dress Up Darling, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about this week's episode. So this week's episode starts off pretty much where we see Gojo and Marin. They're eating at Gojo's place, and we see that Grandpa's kind of looking at the blueprints of how Gojo's gonna make the suit. And he's like, oh wow, a slim suit, that's interesting. And this is where we see that pretty much Gojo's grandpa's like, it's gonna be a lot of effort and it's gonna be very hard, similar to like the Hinata. So just make sure you rely on other people, which is a theme of the episode that carries through all the way to the end, where pretty much Gojo's grandpa, how he gives him the advice of like, just rely on others, don't be afraid of doing so, because look at our Hinata shop, like we couldn't do it by ourselves. That's why we hired 10 people to help us get this all done in a timely fashion. And this is where we see that pretty much as all this is happening, we get an explanation of how the Hina dolls are made, and it was very cute. It was like stock puppets. Very awesome. I love the adaptation of My Dress Up Darling, where they always, put these little things that were not in the source material that makes it like so much better, and just very awesome and very fun. So it was great seeing that. And as we see pretty much throughout it all, after that, we see that Marin is eating like rice, and she's feeling like, oh, I gotta help Gojo out. And, in her motion of just kind of looking at the rice, she starts thinking, maybe I should make him a bento box. And she tells Gojo like, hey, I want to make you a bento box. Like, don't worry, I made you lunch today. I know you usually buy your lunch at school. I made you a bento box, so just eat it when lunchtime comes around. And Gojo's like frightened. My man is traumatized because he knows how Marin cooks. Very unhealthy, nothing really great about it. Maybe delicious, but it's not good for your health in general. So this is where we see a very cute moment where we see that Gojo's like frightened throughout the whole episode. He's like, oh my god, what is she gonna make in that box? Like, am I gonna get like diabetes from this meal or something? And you see like it's very frightening. Like there's a close-up shot of Gojo walking around like a zombie, so it was pretty hilarious. Eventually, as we see that Marin opens the bento box, we find out that she made these big like sandwich spam musubi kind of things, and they look good, man. I ain't gonna lie, like I would be eating that up. Like if Marin gave me that, I probably would eat both of them. We see that pretty much as she's giving him the food, we get this great scene where we actually see some manga stills of comparing the scene as Marin is freaking out saying like, I love Gojo so much, he's so cute, I love him. And we see, like I said, manga comparisons to the actual episode that played out, which for an interesting note for anybody that there's a comment, somebody commented in my previous episode review, we were talking about like, oh, it would be cool if I did like some comparisons between the manga and the anime, and I was like, honestly, it sounds cool and all, but I wouldn't want to do that. It's just a lot of effort. But the anime listened to my commenter, who was like, you know what, Georgie-man, you don't got to do it, I'll do it myself. He did it like a Thanos. The anime staff was like, we got you, fam. So I really appreciated that. And as all that is happening, we see that pretty much the episode continues where we see that Marin keeps making all this food. And it's like it goes from like these spam musubis to just rice balls to like fried like chicken and stuff like that, like all these meat skewers. It is just very unhealthy stuff. It's just stuff that you should not be eating on the daily. Even as a growing teenager, I think it's just not healthy for you. Might be delicious, but it's not really healthy. And as all that is happening, we see that pretty much Gojo eventually, they have this thing where Marin is like, okay, I'm gonna go with no one them to try to talk to them about like how we're gonna get this done. And as they're discussing the fine details, like, yeah, we gotta get this done for the festival, we see that Marin kind of like thinks to herself like, I got something. And then she's like, I'm gonna rizz up Gojo. So she like goes up to Gojo, and as Rei-sama, like acting as Rei-sama, like sits next to him, like, hey, my princess, how you doing? And you see this hilarious scene where Gojo just like timid girl, like, oh my god, just like the typical chicks would be around Rei-sama. And we see that Gojo just like super falling for Marin's wrist, in other words, because this was funny, man. I really enjoyed this. Like I said, this whole sequence, and then you get to the point where even Noah joins in. She's like, oh my god, please spoil me too, Rei-sama. And it's it was just fun hijinks. And what happens after that, Gojo and the rest of the Gojo gets pulled aside because he needs to help out with some heavy lifting for the festival, and the girls, they gotta go, finish the menu for the festival as well. So we see as all that is happening, Marin kind of, she goes away with them, and she thinks to herself like, I want to do something special for Gojo. And what does she try to do? As she notices in the table the suit that Gojo's been working on, she tries to help Gojo out by trying to like sew the suit. And unbeknownst to her, when Gojo comes back, she's very embarrassed. She leaves the room. She's like, I'm so sorry, I'll fix it, Gojo. Don't touch it. I'll fix it though. And as she leaves, we see that, Marin did this like horrible, horrible contraption of tying the bun into the suit. And Gojo, what was Gojo's response to that? He just smiles, man. My man thought it was really, really adorable and very thoughtful of her to do. And, I thought it was a very sweet moment. Once again, showing why Marin is such a great character. She really gives it her all. Maybe she doesn't do it, maybe she's not very efficient at it, but at least she tries to, and that's the thought. The thought is that what counts, and how the episode starts nearing towards its end is where we see that pretty much Marin is with Gojo, and Gojo's like, okay, let's go with the fine details. And as because he's happy about like everything that went down with the suit, we see that pretty much Marin is wearing like these like sweats and this like really not a push-up bra, is the opposite of a push-up bra. It's like a suppressing bra or something, which pretty much covers her chest area and it slims down her butt as well, so it makes it like more of a physique of a man. And all the girls are like, oh my god, how did you do that? And then Marin's like, oh yeah, this is pretty simple. And we see that pretty much as she's getting ready for the suit, all the chicks are like, wow, you wear this, like all of this, like you can deal with it? And she's like, yeah, I'm used to it, like this is nothing for me, this is not my first rodeo. And as she wears the suit, everybody gets like, whoa, like everybody gets like surprised, and they're amazed by how Marin looks in the suit, which to be fair, she looks really good. I thought she looks awesome, and she's very happy. She does a little happy dance, and we see that the episode starts nearing its end, where we see that Gojo is talking to Marin. She's like, okay, that's cool and all, you look great, but we gotta make you learn to act like a dude, because that's the big idea. And because she starts bringing up like the reason Amane looks so good as the characters that he was cosplaying is because he acts like a chick, like he gets that all the mannerisms of a chick and everything, like everything to a T. So Marin, you got to learn how to do that too. And we see that as he pulls out the pictures of Amane, the one dude, Takumi, I think that's his name, or I forget, you correct me in the comment section down below, but the guy that he was dressed as a chick in the karaoke, he's like, oh my god, like that chick is so hot, can you hook me up with her? Like, she's like, college student, I'm all in for it, hook me up, man. And it's like, Marin's like, okay, I mean, I can give you their details, but like, it's a dude. And he's like, damn it, I fell for it. And I was like, man, listen, I think I can speak for all of us that, I'm in that guy's position. I think we would all fall for Amane, all right? Like, Amane does too good of a job. But how the episode ends is that we pretty much see that as all that is happening, Gojo eventually starts thinking about what his grandpa said, relying on others. And Gojo knows that Marin has to learn how to become a dude or act like a dude. So he asked that guy, the one that was simping for Amane, to be like a tutor to teach Marin how to act more manly, because that dude is like extremely like a dude. Like he acts such a dude. So he's like, yeah, I'm down, I got this. Marin is like, hey Marin, listen to me. I'm the Giga Chad dude, you gotta listen to me, you gotta act like me. And Marin's like, you're so obnoxious. And as Marin is like training, she's like learning how to like act more like a dude. We see that the episode ends where we see Murakami, and for those guys that don't remember, he was the guy that during the beginning of the arc, where they brought up the Rei-sama, anime manga like drama, they brought up how this guy was watching it with his sister. He comes up to the room, but he was very embarrassed. Eventually he's like, oh, I want to take a picture of the suit because it looks so amazing, I want to show it to my sister. But I don't want you guys to judge me. And Gojo's like, there's no judging here, man. Like, come on, do it. Let's do it. And the guy's like, awesome. Your guys are awesome. And he takes a picture of Marin, but only the suit, which was hilarious because Marin gets pissed off. And the episode ends in that note. So great episode. I think he's really building up once again with Gojo's character, as well as their dynamic with Marin and himself. The relationship, just increasing how cuteness, the cuteness of it. And I can't wait to see how the next episode is going to play out, because I believe it's the actual festival that happens next week. So a lot to look forward to. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of my dress up, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.